We're now continuing on page 34 of your working file, the subject of the eyedropper tool. Now the eyedropper tool is the fourth one up from the bottom there, and I'm going to click on the little flyout and actually drag the flyout up here onto the screen. There are two eyedropper tools. One's called the color eyedropper, the other is the attributes eyedropper. Now if you're in X3 or X4, you only have one eyedropper, and then you'll see a little paint bucket, but you'll learn about that in a moment as we go. But if you select the color eyedropper tool, up on your property bar will be a little drop down menu, and you can actually select attributes or color, and you'll get the same result as we're about to learn from here, okay? Well, I'm going to look at the color eyedropper tool first of all. So we'll select that, and up here on the property bar you have a few options. Select from desktop, for example. So if I click this, I can actually go off of my program onto my desktop, click select a color. You can actually see the color down the bottom there, and then automatically I see a little paint bucket. Now in the earlier version, put your finger on shift and that will automatically take you to the paint bucket there, shift key. So all I have to do is click, and I can now apply that color I've sampled. Now additionally, on the property bar, as you can see, we have a 2x2 or a 5x5 sample. What that basically means is that if you click on an image that contains multiple colors in a very small pixel area, if I have 5x5 selected, it will take the 5x5, which is around 25 pixels, and it will average what the color is of all of those, and that will become your sampled color. Okay? As you can see here, I can also add this color to my palette if I have my document palette open, and so forth. Now, if I don't have select from desktop turned on, all I need to do is go back here and select my color eyedropper, or finger on shift, which is much easier. Get used to using the shift key. So finger on shift, and I can sample from somewhere else. Say I click there. Now when I hover over an outline, we've seen this before, the hollow color well, that indicates I'm over an outline. So if I click, I'll apply that color to the outline. Finger on shift again to go back to my eyedropper, or on the property bar, select it. And let's say I click a nice dark grey, click, and I can apply my color there. It's very simple. Finger on shift, click, finger on shift, click, and I can apply. Okay, moving on from there, if I want to use my attributes eyedropper tool, it actually empowers me to do a lot more things. Not only can I sample the color, but I can sample effects. Now, as you know, in this button here, we applied a fill effect, a radial fill effect. So when you select the attributes eyedropper, we can see a number of differences up here. Now again, in the earlier versions, you need to, right at the beginning here, choose attributes from the drop-down menu. Now under properties, if I choose outline and fill, then click OK. Under transformations, I won't choose anything. Make sure they're turned off. It's very important you turn off what you're not using. Under effects, well, we're not learning about effects yet. However, if we did have an effect applied, we'd be able to sample that as well. So all I've got selected is outline and fill. So if I click on, say, that object that has the black outline and the blue fill, so I'll click there, come over here and click. As you can see, black outline, blue radial fill. Isn't that fantastic? Again, finger on shift, and I'll do it here. Click here and apply. Finger on shift, click, and apply. So it's that easy. Now if I were to go a little bit further and under transformation select size, so if I come back, click OK, and let's say I select finger on shift, select the circle on the outside there, click, come back over here, watch what happens when I do this. As you can see, my square has been reduced to the same size as the ellipse there. And of course, this can be applied in many ways. So that's the attributes eyedropper tool. Now the way we're going to utilize this and practice with it is to take our two pieces of clip art here and increase the size of them. I'll pop them there like that. And if I select the color eyedropper, it's so easy for me to be able to obviously sample a color as we've learnt before, say on the blue pants there, and then click and apply that blue to there. However, there is now a fountain fill in here, as you can see. So all I did was really sample a single color. Now that does make her work in terms of color matching. That does work really well. But what do I do to get the blend and the outline red that you can see? Well, of course, I need my attributes eyedropper. Make sure I turn off size because I don't want any sizing. All I want is under properties is outline and fill. Click OK. Now sample the pants, and then click, and as you can see. Now, by the way, finger on shift to go back to my eyedropper or select it up there. If I were to say say this little yellow that's in this bag here, that's a radial fill or a fountain fill of some form. Finger on shift to select the eyedropper. I can simply click and then drag and release over the top of the object that I'm wanting to add that to. So in many ways in this scenario, using the attributes eyedropper is quite powerful. Finger on shift, click, and I might want to apply that, say, to the outside of her pants there. That doesn't work well, so let's apply it to her cuffs. Okay, and let's sample, finger on shift, let's sample the green down here, and we might apply that to her couple of bits in the scarf, like that. So as you can see, it's really easy to begin to match up the color range. So let's get it straight one more time. The eyedropper, color eyedropper tool, will sample a single color. The attributes eyedropper samples your radial fill effects, your outline thickness, your outline color, all of that, and will apply that to the object that you click it on. With either tool, you can click and you can drag, or you can simply click and then click over the object that you want to color. Always remember down here in your status bar, you'll see the color that you've sampled there. And in fact, in my case, if I lift the status bar up a little bit, you can see the outline color and the fill color. I normally have this squashed down a little bit to save room, so just hover and pull down a little. There we go. Okay, so why don't you go ahead and practice with these two tools on these two pieces of clip art.